So, oh, that was actually an important tab. Okay, is there anyone here that wants to audio journal? Because I'm in that boat. This is what we call a study lab. It is going to be the end of one study, which is pretty much everything we've done till now, and the start of a new one, which is going to be a 2-week period, right? Now I'm going to ask you how you guys are feeling about what is happening and we're possibly going to change some of it. By the way, there are contracts on the forum. You should read them because in a week or so I'm going to ask you to sign them.
Because we went through them and we did them all and we tried to make sure all the clauses and everything was correct.
And there were clauses that said that you weren't allowed to memorize any confidential information. It was pretty funny. So we got rid of the dodgy stuff like that. Right?
I came back the next day and I was like, hey Paul, so I was just reading through the contract. I made a couple of notes. My plan was to, like, as a sort of severance package to you, like when you left, give you like 5 shots of tequila and that would help you forget anything you learned.
Do you want to start?
Me. Just figuring out what to do each week is sometimes a bit of a challenge. Graphics wise, it's also slightly difficult to try and figure out what to work from because when I was originally conscripted into this, like we need set designs, we need characters, like those are the most important things. And now since the last graphics meeting, it's seeming that that's quite changeable and, well, of course it's changeable, but it's seeming like it's getting less and less prioritized and like it seems like we're needing to focus on the quarks a bit more. If I'm spending this time designing a new character, like making a new character design or doing a set design, I have no idea where it's going to end up.
Our planning around the art has been pretty awful. Dean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Theatrical swoop there. Cinematic rather.
For me, I think I just want like a nice solid art direction. When Dan pulled out the stuff online, the games that he was showing with little oil blobs or whatever.
Oh, World of Goo.
Yeah, I mean that to me, I like, okay, this is something here is quite special that I think we could use.
Hello. 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 It's me, that bitchy guy who got on the microphone last night and said bad things about filmmakers and dogs. Oh, and you're filming.
Oh yeah. Immortalized.
Choosing a vision, right? We keep, right? Like, because you're saying there's a few ways we can go, we need to just choose one so
find
we
one
can
and
keep
just
going.
go with it.
Yeah. With this kind of like a Binding of Isaac style, like not with the gore, but like at least the perspective and the cartooniness.
One of the things that I don't yet understand, and I think this has been the subject of a few of our discussions, especially last time, was exactly how we integrate visually, like using graphics, the storytelling with the gameplay. And
I think we need to make that decision tonight.
Yeah. This is something for which I can only do a whiteboard drawing tonight, but I have a very good idea of how I think you should work. If you had an in-between character who was kind of, you know, middle of the road,
yeah,
it might be like that. If you were to fade off those characters, you now just have particles.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is a way in which you could basically have the same graphics and the same gameplay, but in one instance you're inside the particle collider, and in another instance you start, like maybe you're hallucinating, you start to perceive people like characters that you know from back in the real world, and in the real world you think that you're inside a laboratory with a desk and a computer. We make it so that you have pure gameplay for a while, but then you have a crossover to the real world where you learn that this tiny windy little particle that keeps coming around and glomming onto you is like a little kid. That might fade off and you'll see a small child that's lost somewhere and a memory of Alicent's when she had to look after that little child or whatever. Yeah. And so you can basically find a graphical style that works for, you know, a really pseudo 2D top-down style, and just have that fade in and overlay on top of what is effectively a very, very stark particle-based world. He's an 80s professor.
So more must in
Early
the
90s.
Oh
So
god.
that's when he was at uni.
Thick 80s fashion.
Last time when we left the thing, we were just discussing giving the quarks a little more personality, as it were. There's this comic I'm reading, Goblins. One of the characters, he's essentially just a ball of metal with 2 arms, but he's so expressive, even just with those. Okay, he's got a mouth, but even with just the arms. So I started playing with that initially, just giving the quarks sort of arm-like. It's like the electromagnetic force in an arm, so when it goes up to another up quark, then they try and hold hands and draw each other close, or and then
They just punch each other.
No, I like that.
That was fine. It's Allison now.